Chairman Wolf and Senator Creem and company. The quorum of the House. Please join us. Please. No. Thank you. Welcome.
We think there's power in numbers.
Absolutely. Come on down. Good morning. Chairwoman Wolf, there was, I don't know if you were here early this morning, we had a young woman from your district in testifying who was rather impressive and maybe a challenger someday. Those are my words, not hers. No, not a Republican. From Cambridge? Cambridge? Good morning.
Don't be so hopeful, Representative Winslow.
Thanks for joining us.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you for taking us out of turn. Thank you for all the people who are sitting behind us for allowing you to take us out of turn. My name is Alice Wolf. I represent the 25th Middlesex District, where apparently one of my constituents came to testify this morning. I am here with Senator Creem, who is also, we are the chief sponsors of the bill, and we have our cadre of co-sponsors who've done a great job in coming out. And I'm going to try to tell you everyone who's here quickly so that everybody will be heard, and if I miss anybody, shout. Senator Spilka, Representative Smizik, Representative Hecht, Representative Peake, Representative Brodeur, Representative Benson, Senator DiDomenico, Representative Kaufman, Senator Clark, Representative Mark, Representative Rushing, Representative Stanley, Representative Garlick, Representative Garballey, Representative Khan, Senator Donnelly, Senator Jehlen, Representative Toomey, Representative Nyman, Representative Cariddi, Representative Lawn, and last but not least, Representative Winslow. Have I left anyone out? Lori Ehrlich, Representative Ehrlich. Well, that was pretty good, I think.
Thank you.
So, members of the committee, we are here to talk about the updated bottle bill. And you might guess by some of our insignias that we are, in fact, here to speak in favor of the updated bottle bill. And we hope, and that is House 890 and Senate 1650, and we hope this committee will consider this bill carefully and will send it out with a favorable report. As I've said, my name is Alice Wolf. I represent the 25th Middlesex District, Cambridge, and we are very pleased to be here to be able to testify on behalf of this bill. And we were going to try to be very brief, recognizing you have many people to speak. This is a win-cubed proposition. Now, some of you probably still remember what win-cubed means from your high school days. The updated bottle bill is a great benefit for the environment. You all know that. And that's in a number of different ways. It relates to the litter issue in the parks, in the rivers, on the gutters of our Commonwealth, over each and every city and town. It is a great and popular bill in our cities and towns. Close to 200 cities and towns have now voted, their elected officials have voted to support resolutions supporting this bottle bill. And in fact, our cities and towns will gain an estimated by the DEP of about $4 to $7 million from not having to pick up all of those bottles that they now pick up overflowing at the soccer field or sitting in the gutters of their cities. And the updated bottle bill is also good for small business. There seems to be some disagreement on that question because for the first time, actually, it allows exemptions for mom and pop stores in terms of taking in bottles. In addition, it will really help our redemption centers who are you know, on the edge now, and we could lose some jobs if these redemption centers do not stay open. The bill includes some additional funding for the redemption centers within it. The bottles themselves, as you know, are petroleum-based. We don't really want to use up all this petroleum and then not recycle it. They will go into the landfills in all our communities, and they're going at a very large rate. I know that there is recycling around the Commonwealth, but the data that we have been able to show shows that more than 70% of the bottles which have a 5-cent deposit upon it actually get returned. On the other hand, bottles that do not have deposit, these water bottles and sports drinks and so forth, less than 30% of those bottles are recycled. And so we have a real opportunity here to improve the environment. As you know, I think from what you've read in the newspapers, because we've put it out, the recent poll showed that 77% of your constituents and ours support the updated bottle bill. And in addition, it will also bring some funding into the state. So there are many, many reasons for, in fact, passing this bottle bill. I think one of the great ones, and was asked yesterday by the press, well, why do you think this year is different from all other years? And one of the reasons is that we now have found the enormous popularity of this bill and becoming law across the state, and it will really, so everyone understands, this represents a real assistance to our communities and to our general environment. Thank you very much for your time. Senator Creem.
Thank you. I am going to be brief. I don't want anyone in the committee to think that the people standing behind me are the only people that support this bill. There are 81 sponsors, and day after day I hear of more people who are dying to be sponsors of this bill. It is quite...
There'll be one less sponsor.
So it is very popular, and it is something that the interesting thing about this is that if bottled water was popular when the bottle bill had originally been passed, there would have been no question that sports drinks and bottled water would have been included with the original bottle bill. That was just something as everything in life needs to be updated. We have things in the internet, and as I chair Judiciary, we've had to update our laws to comply with that. So this is just a matter of updating the law that has been so successful. And unfortunately, we often don't pay enough attention to our environment. We're involved with so many other things that we don't put our priorities in our environment. And this is an example where we should be doing that. This is a win situation, as my colleague said, win, win, win. And it's something that's enormously popular. It's hard to believe that something that's good for the communities, good for the environment, good for the people that live in our communities. I represent Newton, Brookline, and Wellesley. It is exceptionally popular in those communities, as well as all of the other communities that you've seen signed up. I think the time is now. I don't see why we would not do it now because for any other reason other than the fact that we don't really support the environment and we don't support our constituents. So if we do those two things, we should be voting for it now. There may be some people that want to speak very briefly. We understand that it would be awful for all of us to have a lot to say, so I'd like to just ask if there's anyone, even a ditto.
Okay. So,
okay, somebody just came in.
Corey Atkins has joined us, Representative Corey Atkins, and Representative Peter Kokot has joined us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Keating and Donnelly have a big voice.
This is a bipartisan support.
Yes.
It heartens me, Mr. Chair, Downing and Keenan, to see so many Democrats gravitating to this fundamentally Republican idea of using of using market forces to shape socially positive behaviors. For the 9th Norfolk District, which I'm proud to represent, I just want to share one additional ditto, and that is this. The Rentham Developmental Center has a redemption center which provides jobs to developmentally disabled people, and when I met there earlier today, it is barely keeping afloat. These jobs provide dignity, they provide self-worth, and they provide revenue to these men and women who have no other options. And I was asked on behalf of my district, please do whatever you can do to update the bottle bill, to create jobs in the community, and to bring dignity as well as clean the environment. So I thank all of my colleagues here for crossing the aisle on this issue, and I appreciate your time and the time of everyone here. Thank you.
We've all seen the light, Representative Winslow.
Thank you very much. I will piggyback on my Republican colleague's comments, who, by the way, is a summer resident in my district. I'm here to speak on behalf of other nonprofits. Specifically, I'll submit testimony from the Family Pantry Corporation, which provides food and clothing monthly to over 900 households, or close to 2,000 people from all across Cape Cod. Starting in 1989, the founders started collecting cans and bottles to help pay the rent of $1,000 a month. They have since become a redemption center. They realize now between $30,000 and $35,000 annually. An expansion, an update of the bottle bill will help their bottom line. There is a real need for this. You know, we ask people to do private fundraising. Here is a real source. It's not only the Family Pantry on the Cape, but I also know that Champ House, another nonprofit corporation, and the Falmouth Service Center also redeem cans and bottles and would benefit greatly from the passage of House 890 and Senate 1650. Thank you.
I'm Representative Corey Atkins, and I'm also here to speak in the affirmative. I'd just like to point out several things. I'm from the 14th Middlesex District, which includes the town of Concord, which almost outlawed bottled water in our community this year through town meeting. I would have thought that was a dangerous precedent. But I must admit that when we passed the first bottle bill, none of us expected the plethora of liquid that was going to be available in bottles that are not redeemable. My third point is a personal one. I happen to save all my redeemables from my mother. She loves them. She combs the beach and cleans up all the time. Last time I thought I gave her enough because I had had a big event to go on a cruise. I overestimated, but she did get a tank of gas out of it. So even though groups benefit from it, I think family members do too, and it's a good way to keep the environment clean. So thank you.
All right.
True to our word.
Thank you. Yes, Mr.
Well,
Chairman.
thank you all very much, and certainly while we do not believe that this is a partisan issue, everybody wants to increase recycling and reduce waste. I have to admit, there's one Republican in the group here, and I have to steal my co-chair's question and ask you, Representative, do you believe that this is a tax?
Mr. Chairman, it's not a tax. It's not a tax by constitutional definition. It's not a tax by statute. It's a tax. If you take a nickel from somebody and then give it back, it's not a tax by any definition that exists under Massachusetts law, and I hope it passes.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just comment on that. Two tax experts in the state, Barbara Anderson and Michael Widmer, have both said, quote, for attribution, this is not a tax.
Thank you all for coming out today. We very much appreciate it.